Hello and welcome to another episode of the ADHD Girls podcast with me, Claire.
And me, Laura.
So today we're going to be talking about a few different things.
Yes.
But as always, we're going to start with how has ADHD shown up for you this week? So, Laura.
For me, so we live in the UK and it's February and it could literally be the swampy depths of hell. It's just wet, cold, damp, dark, grey. It's hideous. It genuinely is. And that is, I feel it is my ADHD that is just very, because we're not coming out of winter. We've had winter for a long time. And I'm feeling really like, oh God, I just want some sunshine. I just want to feel a bit of warmth. Like I'm ready to come out of hibernation from winter. And I feel my ADHD is very much just getting restless with it. Just like, okay, I just need a bit of joy. I need a bit of better weather. And I do feel this weather is just really just dampening everything for me. And it's like, yeah, it's just the wet, the damp, the grey, the cold. And I'm struggling, so I don't know if I have that sad thing or if it is just being British. I don't know. It's just crap. So
So I guess the ADHD angle is that it's probably more intense.
I feel most people would just go, oh, well, that's what winter is, a time of year or whatever, and they just kind of, well, that's what it is. Well, I'm kind of like, yeah, but it really affects me because I'm struggling to do things now of like,
it's quite extreme, emotionally, and
I just want some sunlight. I can't remember what the sun looks like. I just want to see the sun. Is it still there? Does it exist?
It's hiding somewhere, I think.
It's just not.
No.
Yeah. So that's how my ADHD has shown up. How about you, Claire?
So we have, in our kitchen, we've got a big fluorescent, horrible light that you have to switch on, and it's like...
Does it make a noise when you switch it?
Yes, it makes a noise. It's massive, it's ugly, it's really bright. And my partner said he's neurodivergent. He said he realised that he's been getting overstimulated when he's been in the kitchen. He's finding things quite difficult. And I was like, oh yeah. And I remember having a discussion with you, Laura, last week about, the lights and how lights affect. And I was like, yeah, that light is hideous. It's just this big, bright light. Anyway, I got home from work yesterday and my partner has installed these motion sensor lights. And I'm like, oh, how did we not figure this before? So I was a bit annoyed about it, but it made such a difference because it's a light, it's a gentle light. If I get up in the middle of the night, I haven't got to switch this horrible light on, which takes ages and flickers and makes a noise, the big lights. And I was like, oh, this is so nice. It's actually making the room look bigger. And I was like, I just feel instantly more peaceful going into the kitchen. So that just goes to show that, there's quite small, inexpensive changes to your environment can really calm your nervous system when you're getting all those sensory inputs.
Yes, because like I find what you're saying with the sensory input, the weather, that's what it is for me. The sensory, just the damp, the cold, the wet, it's just too much. It's because it's constant and it's going on for such a long time. It just kind of wears you down, I find.
Yeah, I mean, today especially, I felt really angry with this weather. I was like, this isn't. I know. People say, oh, it's winter in the UK. This is what happens every year. Yeah, and every year I feel like this in February. Every year I feel depressed in February. It's that I just didn't want to focus on anything. I was just annoyed. I came home and I was like, what is the point? It just really, really affects my mood, my motivation. It's a combination of the light or the lack of light, sunlight, and the rain. It's not even that it's that cold. I wouldn't mind so much if it was cold, but crisp. But this is just grim.
It is. It's just the grim. It's just this constant, almost like you're going into this sauna, but it's just the sensory around you. Because I find saunas I struggle with because I'm okay for the first little bit, but then I find my body just goes into panic mode very quickly. Yeah. And all of a sudden it's like, no, danger, get out. You're too hot, sweaty. Everything just hits me at once. And I'm like, okay, I need to exit. And everyone else is just sitting in there going, oh, what's wrong with that?
Sitting in there, sweat, just absolutely fine.
And just carry on for another 20 minutes.
It's not nice, is it?
Well, for me, I do find, and I definitely feel it's the ADHD aspect, my sensory, nervous system, whatever you want to call it, it's just there's a switch that flicks. And it'll just go, no, that's enough. And it'll go from like 5 to 1,000. And then I'm then going to, how do I deal with this? What do I do? Because I'm feeling all these things very intensely. And how do I manage them? And it's, I think, just in that moment of, okay, well, let's look at the weather. And this is where I'm like, no, do you know what, it'll be fine. And I looked at the weather forecast, and pretty much for the next 2 weeks, it's just grey, damp and cold, which then set me into another spin of like, no. I mean, that might change, obviously. But it's then I'm there going, I can't plan anything. I can't go for, and I think for us, the biggest aspect was going for our walks.
Yeah, definitely. And another thing I want to touch on is so I'm travelling to work. Okay. So when you add in rain, it just makes me really, really irritable because I've got to carry an umbrella. That's another thing. I hate carrying umbrellas, but I carry it. You get on a train and it's really, everything's steaming because everyone's bringing in damp. The heating's on, so again, it's like a hot, steamy, it's just gross. I hate the feeling of wet trousers.
Oh.
I don't know why, but when the fabric dries, it just makes my skin feel like it's on fire. It's just,
Smell of damp.
Yeah, the smell of damp. You get to work, everyone's got umbrellas everywhere, and it's just, there's too much stuff, there's too much clutter everywhere. So it's not just the rain, it's how it interacts with, I guess, with the urban environment. Maybe I'd feel better if I was, in the Lake District or something. I don't know, but I do think it's worse when you're trying to travel in it as well. And just like that's horrible, sweaty, stinky smell on the train. And then everyone's got loads of coats and it's dripping everywhere. And
there's a lot going on.
There's mud everywhere. And it's just like, ugh, what is all this? It's just horrible. I just want there not to be rain.
Control
everywhere.
of your environment, isn't it? I think
Definitely.
with ADHD is you kind of feel like you want to be in control because you can want to set, like at home, you can set your environment to, like what you were saying with your light.
Yeah.
You've got control over the environment. Well, when you go into the outdoors, you've got zero control over the environment. And when there's a lot happening and there's a lot stimulating you.
And it's going from one environment to another. Like I say, if we were out walking in it, yes, it would still be difficult, say if we were in a country or something. But I think, it's that urban, it's going from an outside environment to an interior environment with dampness and all those interactions. And it's changing, it's that.
And it's not a couple of minutes either. You can be on the train for 20 minutes, half an hour. So you're kind of, you're stuck there for a certain amount of time.
Sweaty environment, and then like tracking in mud, and then you've got to clean your boots. It's like, it's tough.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, with me, it's like driving today in this weather. I'm just like, everyone's just in a rush, in a panic. Everyone's just driving erratically because I think everyone just is fed up and wants to go home. But it just makes me more aware. Go in the dark, there's lots of lights, there's lots of rain. There's just so much that I'm kind of hyper aware of.
I was getting annoyed because, there's a short drive here, but I feel like I'm taking in a lot of information because I'm trying to drive safely, but I feel like a lot of people aren't. And they're just like blindly carrying on, driving too fast, driving too close, pulling out. I'm just like, making me angry that they're not respecting the fact that it is raining and you need to be driving better.
But I think they know almost, someone else will stop for me.
Yeah.
And it's that then my anger comes out of like, I'm going to stop because I don't want to smash up my car. You don't care for whatever reason. Either they're not insured or they're just an idiot or other beeping language. But it's then that frustration of, oh my God, I just want to get there. I'm already taking in so much. It's dark.
So we're now driving for them.
Yeah.
Because they haven't got the ability or they're not interested in actually.
Well, someone ran a red light coming through. I mean, thankfully, I do have a dash cam because I find driving in London, I've had so many near misses where it's, thank God. And it's 10 out of 10, me putting on the brakes or me having to take aversive action driving to stop a crash. And that's why I was like, I'm going to have to get a dash cam because God forbid if one day I just don't, whatever reason, the car slips or they're just going to hit me. I want that evidence of, well, I was driving fine. It's to protect myself. So for this, it's kind of like, just thinking ahead of how can you protect yourself.
I just feel like there are a lot of people who don't have any of these issues. They're just like blindly driving and like you say they'll just expect you to brake. And I mean, someone just did
3.2.
Well, it was just like, I'm just going to stop in a main road and just spin around. I'm like, oh my God, the entitlement. I was like, why can't you just carry on to the next junction like everyone else? But no, you've got hold of it.
No, you're special. You're special in many ways.
So talking about getting wet and heat,
it's not going what you think it is,
and steam. I know we've talked before, both of us, about the whole showering and bathing, and why that can be really difficult. And this might sound strange to some people, but once I've had the shower, or once I'm in the shower, I'm okay. But it's getting into the shower causes me a lot of procrastination. And I guess it's because you're going from one state, which is dry and comfortable, into another state where you're going to be wet. And then you've got to, I think the worst bit is getting out of the shower.
Knowing that's going to happen. Yeah.
Because I hate the sensation of being damp. So now I've got dry south, but then, the air feels different. Everything's different. So it's going from dry to shower, and then out of the shower again. And I just find it can take forever to get into the shower. And same with bathing. Now, I prefer bathing in a way because it just feels nicer on my skin. But I do actually have to take the temperature of the bath. So I've got a little ducky temperature gauge, and it has to be between 38 and 40 degrees because I know that that's the temperature which is comfortable. I've got a really deep bath. It takes ages to fill this bath up. And so I have a little ducky, so I know the temperature, because that's the other thing. Sometimes if it's too hot, it just feels really uncomfortable. If it's too cold, it's just pointless. But then getting out of the bath just takes forever because it's like, I'm now in this state. I now don't want to get out of this state. And I just wonder what's going on.
Again, I think it's a sensory, because I have the same thing. Before I get in the shower is the bad place. I'm in a good place. I'm dry. I'm fine. I smell, but I'm fine.
Yeah.
I need a shower.
You're safe. You're comfortable.
Yeah, I know my environment and I'm in control of it. So the dry place is a good place and the shower place is a bad place. But then when I'm in the shower place is a good place and the dry place is a bad place. And it's that transition of like, and then as well, I have to think like days where I have to wash my hair. Oh my God, you would think that I'm trying to win a Nobel Prize in hair washing because I have to go like, well, what day is it? What am I doing? Like, oh God, well, what shampoo should I use today? Because the other day I used that shampoo and I have this long monologue with myself over just something so basic as washing my hair, and I feel like such a toad.
Yeah,
because it's like, what's wrong with me? But going online, I think a lot of ADHD and autistic people have this trait. So if you're listening, it's like, do you have this trait? Is the shower or the bath or the cleansing routine? What is it like for you? Like, do you? Come on, we want to hear the weird stuff. We want to hear say the weird things.
We're not the only ones. We know. We've read. We listened to a podcast. We know that people do struggle with this. And it is great to hear that other people struggle, because I just felt like such a loser. Like, how can you get to be an adult and have trouble? Like, it's not that I don't want to be clean. I love being clean, but I don't want to
But I can't adult full stop
for just getting in the water, and it's just hideous. And yes, I can set myself a timer and do it really, blah blah blah. But the
process is still the process.
It's a huge process. It takes up so much
mental energy.
Function. Yeah. Like how is it going to be? What's the temperature? Is my towel ready? Is the towel ready? And when you just think of it as an action, I go in a shower bath. Like, well, that's just really simple. You just do it. Okay, to some people it probably is, but when you break it down, there's so many steps involved.
That's what overwhelms me.
And I think we are stuck on all those steps. Yeah.
Well, I think, actually, it's only not that long, but in my mind, I've gone through 30 steps.
And I think that is what it is. There's so many steps. There's so many. At each of those steps, there's a point you've got to consider. There's something you've got to decide, or there's something you need to do. It isn't just get in, and it's... Yeah, it's a weird one, but I'm so glad to hear that I'm not alone in this.
No,
I was pretty ashamed of it. It's like, why is it so difficult?
Well, growing up, I said to my friend, oh God, do you like to wear yourself out thinking about washing your hair? And she looked at me like, what? I'm like, do you just think, because you have to think about what you're going to do? And like, I pretty much have mentally showered 8 times before I get in the shower because I've thought about it so much. And she was going, no, I just get in the shower. And she's like,
that's what people do. She's doing one step.
What are you talking about? I'm like, no, this is a thing for me, but I'm gonna it for me was such. And then I find, because I've got quite oily hair, and dry roots. So if I don't wash my hair for 3 days, on the 4th day I have to wash my hair twice when I'm in, because it's so oily at the root. I do have to wash it twice. And then on days that day, I'm then kind of overthinking. I'm like, oh God, I have to wash it twice. And I forget. It's such a pathetic thing of like, well, it's only going to take you. It's not going to take long. But me thinking, on top of the whole shower routine, not do I have to wash my hair once, but I have to wash it the extra one time because it's so oily. And then that is it. My brain just explodes. And I just kind of lay there, kind of overwhelmed by this basic task.
It sounds
feeling like a loser.
I know. It sounds like we have so many steps that others just don't
think. They don't think about it. It's the same, because like me and my friend will do exactly the same thing in the shower, but she just doesn't think about it. And that's what I find with, the people who don't have these tisms, as we call them, the autism, the ADHD, whatever you want to call it. They just do it. There's literally no thought process because it's just like, well, it's a habit. It's so
I just find that
ingrained.
fascinating. I just like, why are we breaking it down to so many steps? I think,
why are we
what
doing
is
this to
going on
ourselves?
there?
Why are we doing this to ourselves? Because we know what we're doing, yet we keep doing it. I find my brain cannot stop. I do not. Actually, my daughter said something the other day because I was talking to her about her like focusing and concentration at school. And I said to her like, oh, how, are you, because she does struggle with it. And she just said, Mummy, I can't control my brain. When my brain, and I'm like, that's actually a good way. Like you just, like this whole shower or routines or whatever, you can't control it. And I think that's a big part of ADHD, of what is in your control and what isn't. Because I think I don't want to think about me having a shower for however long and then pretty much stopping myself from having a shower by thinking about like you couldn't make this up, because if you said this to someone, they'd be looking at you going,
doesn't it?
so 1 minute, you're thinking about having a shower more than what it takes for you to have a shower.
I think that's what we do all the time. I mean, I think oftentimes I spend so long thinking about the thing, when I actually do it, it's done really quickly, but I realise I've been thinking about it for 3 days and it's been quietly running in the background of my brain, taking up loads of energy. So although I haven't written anything down, it's all been whirring away in the back of my brain. But also with a shower, we need dopamine, and I think sometimes there isn't that dopamine. It's that inertia. It's like, I know I need to shower, I want to shower, I need to shower, but where's the reward? Because you've got to get into the shower.
Where you're like, tomorrow I have to do the same nonsense again.
It's like, it's that whole thing of ADHDs need that reward and need that dopamine and need that motivation to do it, and we just can't get it. It's just so hard. You want to, you need to, and you'll be okay once you do it, but it's there's just nothing happening. It's like the circuits aren't working.
I think you said
push you to do it.
A good word there, inertia, because I find once I start going, because again, the other issue which I really struggle with, and I think a lot of ADHDs struggle with, sitting down. That for me is like, once I've got motivation, once I've got that, what you say, inertia, where you've got that momentum going, I'm like, okay, I've got this, I've got that, and it's the whole like side quests around home. That's when it starts. So that bit I'm fine with, but sometimes I'll just go, I'll sit down for a minute, and in my brain I'm like, don't do it, because you know what's going to happen. Just have a word with yourself.
It's really hard.
Do not sit down. But sometimes it depends on whatever it is going on. I think, I just need to take a break. And then once I'm down, it's like, and it's like the wet place is the bad place.
Because you know that the motivation has gone. Once you stop doing anything,
yes,
you try to sit down, you haven't got those, whatever it is, neurons firing off. The synapses going, do the thing. They've stopped because there's no reward. You're just doing nothing. And it's like, but I need to do something. This is why it's this. I think with boys, they're more stereotypical. They're bouncing around and moving. Girls, it tends to be more women tends to be more internal. So our brains is pinballing around, but it's like got nothing to do with it.
Yes, there's no actual holes that's going in. It's just going ping, 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 and you're like, but where's the goal? What's the point of this game?
So maybe sitting down and just not doing anything is really, really hard, because it's like the pinball's still going round.
But there's nothing. It's not lighting up.
No.
But I find, that's what I struggle with. If I'm out and about and I'm doing stuff, I can get on with I will go somewhere, I'll take my laptop, I will be that person, I'm sorry, at the cafe with my laptop, but I will, purchase food and drink and whatever. And I don't take the mickey if I see the cafe's getting busy. I'm like, okay, I've been here a while, I'll make room for someone else. So, but I find just being in that environment, just being outside of my normal... Because at home, I'm constantly like, I need to do this, I need to do that. So once I've got that movement of, I'm out, I'm doing stuff, and I just feel it's kind of, the flow is there.
Yeah.
And then I think, okay, I'm going to pack up, go somewhere else. And I find motivation in it. My brain is working so much better.
I think this is why we get bored. And why we can just find it really hard to
That's why doom scrolling is just that where you're at home. You've almost got that reward going of, I'm seeing something new and interesting. But then it's, that long term it doesn't serve a purpose, or it doesn't serve a good goal for you to do that. But do that. I'm going to put my hand. I think that's the biggest issue. So many people do it, of that quick thing of, and before you know it, X amount of time has passed, and then you feel like crap of, I haven't.
I guess it's because I think when did I hear someone say this? But that sort of doom scrolling, that kind of thing, it gives you that dopamine, but it's short lasting, so you're just constantly seeking it. Whereas there are better ways to raise the dopamine that are more of a steady state. Whereas I think the doom scrolling reason it's not great for us. It feels good, but it's not really great. Is that it's that spike and it drops quite quickly.
That instant, oh, what's that?
Yeah.
What's that? Because we're searching for information all the time. We're trying to keep our brains, oh, it's something interesting, something, because I'm always on some creative something. And that gives us that initial, we don't know what's going to come up. And it's that excitement over of, oh, what's this? What's that? And it's also that addictiveness as well, because let's be honest, the algorithms are trained to keep you there.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I've not outsmarted the algorithm yet, sadly. So we've now reached the no shame zone. So who wants to go first? I'll go first. Okay. So this is really, I know, someone, basically we started this podcast so that someone listening might go, oh God, it's not just me doing that. So this is my no shame zone. This is going to be really bad. Someone listening might be like, what the hell? But when I was younger, I don't know what it is, whatever you want to call it, autism or ADHD, I was obsessed with the number 3. So I had to switch the light on 3 times. Everything had to be 3. So if I put something down, I had to put it down 3 times. Now, the worst bit was, going back to the showering, I had to shower myself, like wash my body 3 times. Even though I know it wasn't good for me, the kind of sense I got after, oh, I've done that 3 times, like that relief, that safety almost, even though the common sense part of my brain was telling me, what the hell, why are you washing yourself 3 times? Like, this is not good for your body. The other part that was like, no, but it has to be done 3 times, was so strong and so overpowering over everything else that it was, once I washed myself 3 times, it was, oh, I've done it, I'm okay, I'm safe, I'm calm, I can now get on with my life. And I'm now thankfully not doing that anymore. I don't have that, but that went on for, I think, about a year, maybe a year and a half. So it was a long time. And I didn't tell anyone because I knew how crazy it sounded, because I knew people would just go, well, just wash yourself once and then be done with it. But I couldn't explain to them that power of, no, it has to be 3 times. Because I knew no one would understand. I mean, I told my family, and again, they're like, oh, the water, that explains the water bill. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't help it. And they'll be like, well, why don't you just do it twice and then go to what? And I'm like,
no.
All the things that would make sense to do.
It needs to be 3 because it's 3's got a symmetry to it. It's got 1 in the middle. It's got 2 at the side.
Yeah, I was just like, it has to be 3. And I don't know what, everything was 3. So that was my, I was obsessed with number 3. And I remember like sometimes it would be so stupid that I'd have to get on the 3rd bus. I'd actually stand at the bus stop, let the 2 buses go, and then just go, I have to get on the 3rd bus because the 3rd bus is safe. The 3rd bus means the 3rd bus is my bus. And I'm like, what the hell? I think if a psychiatrist would sit down with me, they'd have a field day with this nonsense, because they'd be like, what? And now, thankfully, I don't have any of this. But it did take such a long time to get to the point where I could do just it once and it not be a problem of, oh God, I've only done that once, and not like it felt so strong that I was compelled, like I didn't have a choice. It was like I had to do it 3 times, or it was almost like breathing. That's the only way I can. It's like someone tells you, well, just don't breathe. You'd be like, well, I can't because I die.
Yeah,
that's the only way I can describe it. So that's my no shame zone. Anyone else out there doing the weird stuff? Yay!
I mean, on a similar note, I do a thing where it's going to sound, I'm not sure how it's going to be come out on a podcast, how to describe it, but I do a thing with my hands and do a movement, and everything has to, like a flag, drawing a flower, but it has to be all symmetrical.
Okay, so use your hands to draw.
Yeah, draw it in the air. If I can't draw it in the air, I'll draw it on a piece of paper.
But just with your hands or with a pen?
It can be a pen. It can be hands. It can be it varies. It's kind of like doodling, but it's about a pattern. So similar to your thing about 3s, it is a pattern and it has to match. And if it doesn't match, you have to go over the lines again. And you know, when you're a kid, you have that thing, is it a kaleidoscope?
Yes, where you move it.
And it's kind of like that. And I feel like if I draw over the lines, I've then got to draw another pattern around it.
Oh.
So the pattern has to be perfect, has to be, even though I'm drawing it, it has to be symmetrical. And yeah, it has to be if it goes outside the lines, I've got to start again. So I think there is a thing to do with both what you have said, I've said. I think it's to do with patterns.
I think, because what do you feel like
soothing.
once you do it? Yeah, it's soothing. This is it. Once you know, you almost feel safe and you feel like I've done something that makes me feel okay.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's making sense out of chaos.
Well, this is it, because I think talking to someone, this doesn't make sense, but to us it makes sense.
Yeah.
So I wonder if
it's a compulsion again, isn't it? So something you need to do, and it's something that is, I think it's a nervous system regulation thing. And it's like, okay, it's just regulating, and it's soothing, and it's about patterns. But that's what I think, but I don't know. Does anyone else?
Yeah, no, I think the soothing this is where I think, we've got a Facebook page, the ADHD Girls Podcast. So we share our podcasts and odd bits and bobs on there. So please join us on there and let us know if there's any weird stuff you do with patterns or anything else. We really want to start a safe community where we can share all our little nooks and
so if there's any certain numbers has to be, or certain, I think some people have things like not stepping on cracks and things like that. I mean, that's quite a common one, isn't it? But yeah, the ones we've both mentioned do seem quite weird when you say it out loud, but
to us they're completely like, this is what I have to do.
Yeah.
And I wonder what other little, because I think a lot of people don't say it. That's why we've got this podcast, because we can just say it and someone listening might go, oh yeah, I haven't got that, but I've got something else that soothes me and I have to do it. But it's a compulsion, like you say, that it's. And
I guess that's why adult colouring books are so popular these days, because maybe that's how people soothe and draw in the lines. I don't know.
Make themselves feel a bit calmer. Yeah, regulate in some fashion.
Okay.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, and we shall see you next time.
See you next time. Bye.